I shot a scene at the Hollywood division, and I know that facade has been in a ton of episodes of the show. So when somebody walks out of that Hollywood division, they're going to go, "Oh yeah, that's from the show." Yeah.
Yep.
So tell me a little bit about how Ballard honors the Bosch legacy. How does it keep the DNA, but how is it also its own beast?
It's both of those things. Like you said, it is honoring the past and obviously what brought us here and what keeps us here. But I think we really set out to make an entirely new show, you know, and something that looked different, felt different, sounded different. And I think we did that. So I think there's a beautiful balance between, like I said, what they've set up for us to knock down and where we're taking it. And it's 10 years later, so it is kind of an entirely new generation of the universe, I think. And I think we're just going to bring it to audiences that hopefully are the old audience, but also newer audiences as well.
Yeah.
I loved also just the familiarity of seeing the filming around LA.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So I'm curious for each of you, which part of LA did your character connect with the most?
Well, to me, I think that the neighborhood that we shot where LaFont's house is, which is his husband's house, is a really big part of his life. So it was nice to be in that neighborhood. But the show has is so grounded in the geography of Los Angeles that the first day we shot down, that was in Crenshaw, right?
Randy's Donuts.
Yeah, right by Randy's Donuts, right by the airport, Englewood, that's where it was.
Englewood, yeah.
And it was just so great to be down there and to see it at night. It was so beautiful.
Very cinematic.
Yeah, really beautiful.
The way it was shot, yeah.
I think the place that kind of really resonated or made Parker feel the most comfortable was probably that at the club. I feel like that's where she had most of her power when she was like not working and stuff like that. So I think she was just like, this is my domain. I feel like it gave her power because she wasn't a cop right at that point. So I think that's like a really good area too.
I thought you were going to say Pacoima.
Pacoima?
Lovely in the summer.
Well,
where we were running on the street.
Yeah, you know, it was a good time.
I was like, did we dress this house as a drug house? No, it just
No,
came like this.
just
Cool.
came this
Good,
way.
Good,
No,
good.
that house was
Hand
cool.
sanitizer.
Crazy. Oh my gosh. So is that yours?
No, for me, Pacoima. Yeah, Pacoima in August.
No, for me it was the West Side. It was Malibu. It was the ocean. It was bringing like the city to the ocean and the ocean to the city, and that whole coastline, and you know that whole life that she goes back to when she's not at work with her grandmother and her dog, and you know the water and the grass and the trees and
the lifeguard.
And the lifeguard and hot lifeguards. I mean, you got to run back to something.
Gotta run back to the lifeguard.
As well. But it just it is the juxtapositioning and living in LA. It is those many things, but it can be those two things. And so when she runs away from that world, she's in an entirely different place. And I think that was purposed in her life to be out of it, away from everything that she does.
I was gonna say, nothing says LA like a hot lifeguard.
Really nothing. Really, right? And we've got one.
They should make a
so
show.
Guess
Yeah.
what? Right? Would you think it would be successful?
Write it down. Write it down.
So much of this show also I feel like is rooted in truth. What moments for you, was there a particular moment throughout this that you feel like your character really found their truth?
I'll tell you, we had a couple of funeral scenes in this show, and both of them were quite moving, and particularly when you have a full contingent of LA police officers out. And when we shot that, not only was it one of the ones was a huge scene, but it was really LA police officers who were there. So that felt really a beautiful melding of the truth of the moment with filming. It was really cool.
I think there were a couple scenes that maybe felt that way. I think where she really came into her own was definitely when I have my really great conversation with Ballard. I think she's able to be much more vulnerable than she's ever been. And I think that's when we get to see Parker's full color, which I thought was like, it gave us the opportunity to finally like feel for her and kind of get rid of that hard exterior. And I think it was at that moment where I'm actually able to feel comfortable and vulnerable with this woman in my life who's brought me back to a job that I love. I think that's when you really get to see Parker for who she is.
I think all the cop stuff it feels very truthful, obviously, because we had great consultants, we had a lot of support, we had, real life people that we're basing, our storylines and characters on. But I think maybe for me, it was being with my grandmother, who I live with. There was so much truth in that, just because, the relationship it's lovely and it's funny, but it's complicated as well. And I think seeing people, like Don was saying, the neighborhood meant a lot to him to be there, and this is his established life outside all of the cop stuff. And you forget that these officers have this thing that they go home to. What is that? What's their escape? What is it that they go home to every night, and what does that do for them? And I found a lot of truth in this stuff with my grandmother. It was really, again, you see a side to Ballard, like you were saying about your own character, that you just don't see, and so I think that was enjoyable.
Okay, lastly, if there's just one Easter egg you could each tease.
I don't remember.
I don't want to give anything away. I'm afraid I'm going to give something away. I don't want to give something away.
I'm afraid to give something away, so I'm just not gonna.
Yeah, it was
say
funny.
A thing.
We talked a lot about Easter eggs. I don't know that we ever.
Oh, they're
did.
all over the set.
They are.
But they're things that I wouldn't necessarily recognize because they're really inside.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
I guess,
the things
I guess
that in the Bosch people, everybody who watched every episode of Bosch will go, I recognize that.
I see. I see.
I
We'll
think
let
there
you
were-
know in the fourth season, fifth
yeah,
season.
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, like the
perfect.
fourth or fifth, we're gonna have plenty.
Yeah, just
I think
eggs.
You'll definitely
Everywhere.
see. We go back to locations that when I shot a scene at the Hollywood division, and I know that facade has been in a ton of episodes of the show. So when somebody walks out of that Hollywood division, they're going to go, "Oh yeah, that's from the show." Yeah.
Yep.